and Shenji Grenadiers are out, guys. We've been seeing so many Shenjis this evening already, and I'm very curious to see what we are going to get here. All right, Heather, we are going to be ready. I'm going to show us the game, and we will be good to go.
Let's go. Let's go for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk about units, players that I'm eager to see on NoBeaches side. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Jake can do. Madshin as well, Galahad as well, new player for this season, and Ghost X on that Cav as well. For Argonautes side, there's a lot to work on here. I can see a lot of units. I think they might be having trouble with a bit of leadership. They've got a lot more blue units than maybe some of the bigger teams. But you can see a lot of double gold, a bit of gold and purples, and then you've got the gold and double purples as well for NoBeaches side. Only 3 on B though, so maybe they're just taking the world out of maybe just to open that.
Yeah,
just in case they lose.
Exactly. They may just be checking to make sure that the Argonauts guys are not selling out, which is something that teams sometimes do with Cav. So that's definitely something. Lots of musket. Like, do you see how many muskets there are on the NoBeaches
So
side?
there is
insane.
6 in total. Sorry, 6 in total for NoBeaches, and then 3 for Argonauts actually. So that's quite a lot for a defender side.
Yeah, we're seeing Flames. We're even seeing Houndsmen on the Argonaut side. They have 3 specialist units in their starting lineup. That is going to be interesting there. Yeah.
So we saw this earlier from Odin's Legion. Actually, they brought some Doros as well. So and they can be a really interesting unit. They've got that stun. They've got that root kind of effect that they've got on. So hopping into the game now to kind of see where they want to fight.
Let's see, indeed. All right.
So a majority coming from A right there. Try to see whether a lot of teams have not opted to open the breach. I was quite surprised with. So it really does limit your possibilities of getting into the map, or forcing the defenders to push it out to defend a certain area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah. And interestingly, like you said, like just opening the possibility. But again, we've seen how fast this map is, so that may be a reason why teams don't want to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't get Cav through there. It's just an infantry thing, so you've got no Sally possibility. There's no problem in doing it. I guess apart from your unit composition, that could be a bit of a problem, I guess. But still, NoBeaches are actually breaking down. That's where that musket power kind of comes through with the bombs. You already see. Yeah, we see a lot of heroes changing.
Exactly. They will probably be switching to Pike most likely now. This game is actually already like slower pace than the last match, we can tell. So we can clearly take a look at how Argonauts are stacked up on the units there. I'll just go over there as well.
So they've got the Chevaliers right in the back with those vanguards and the retinues. A lot of teams have opted for this. Not a lot of people like to do this because of that tower and the trebuchets. As soon as that tower's broke, that leaves all of this area for those trebuchets. But really slow start from NoBeaches, actually. They're really been playing.
I'm surprised they're not going straight for the same corner that Kebabs is going for. Although, of course, there's no Falconetti, so that corner might not be valuable here. But they are going forward. Again, Imperial Shields in the front line. Look at the Houndsmen already shooting. They will be very efficient in going for the Flamers. Oh, look at this aggressive from the Argonauts. I like it.
That's really, really clever of them. But they need to deal with this circus units come through, and they've got that flames. Actually, those flames actually be devastating. The Cav coming in. Only the musket in the back right now, and you've got this big 5-man that's actually just going to pincer them.
Getting the first kill on for NoBeaches. Flames still going strong. The Imperial Shields are still standing on both sides. Looks like NoBeaches is pushing forward hard though, but I'm not sure if they can actually manage to push through. Those Imperial Shields.
So,
look at the Cav. There we go. Ghost X Instincts. They roll D-Gate, and here they are. They've arrived and they've come here to clean up.
That is one of the best Cav charges of the season. That was insane. Holy moly. And then it's just to clear up on the units. They barely lost anything. NoBeaches.
Yeah, that was insane. That fight actually looked pretty close to start with, but now it's and then it wasn't. Then it just wasn't.
Look at the amount of units that's coming out of NoBeaches of this fight. This is their first unit. Not many people have actually come back. This is a full retinue unit with about 6 7 years left. And A random blue guy actually kind of holding off on this B, kind of leaving his friend
Exactly.
to
And
die right there.
you can see by the amount of units that the Instinct still has left on his Cataphracts and Ghost Tech as well, that this was a very clean flank from them. Instinct still having 19 of his 21 Cataphracts, and the Ghost Tech still having 20 of his 21. So they will be looking for another opportunity once again.
Absolutely, and I've just seen actually some units from Yoku, which is some Raton Vipers, probably some of the strongest like blue archers in the game up there with Namkhans and Kokos, especially as range units. But they're falling back to that home point. They're doing that standard circle setup right now. Not too many in this anti-treb spot, but they're doing the circle setup. So they're recovering all sides, but there's a lot of cav from Argonautes side right now, and NoBeaches just playing it slow again. They're playing that time. It looks like they're just trying to confidently set up these fights. And Argonautes taking a little bit of time to actually it's going for a split. So they're going for the split backside, backside and front no trebs.
Absolutely,
This could actually be hit.
and just so, what we were looking for Argonauts was playing convincingly, right? And that we definitely saw that just now. They decided to pull the trigger, and they did it like with their whole team. That was really good to see. But we just showed that they were smarter with the flank, and Argonauts weren't able to watch the flank. So now on the final, we have 4 angles of attack, and I'm very curious to see if Argonauts will pull another strong force aggressive attack, or that NoBeaches is able to pull off the flank once more, and we'll see how they set up. For now, NoBeaches is totally set up on the right side, but we can already see some of their players moving over to the left. Less fast units now, of course. We got Ferengian moving there, and Imperial Shields moving there to the left. Some Claymores going back. What we got here.
So that was a good example of why this spot is so good on this map as a defender side. It's just all of those trebs actually either going over or just under that hill. Well, NoBeaches are actually taking this hill. They're going for those hero fights on top of that hill. No kills just yet. The mall's in. You want those short swords right on the backside on those muskets.
Ooh, and there we got one though.
That's one down. Suliang down, right down to General Reap. But they're pushing these units away, actually, into the treb. That was really, really smart.
But the Cataphracts are going for it. Look at this. This is another Cataphract flank there. I hope you're ready for this, because the Flamers...
Oh, the flames!
Ooh, look at
wow, those flames have just got demolished.
And meanwhile, NoBeaches is pushing on the other side. They're definitely causing a distraction this time around. It's not a flank, it's a distraction. And they're pushing full force. They're through already. Yep.
Those Raton Vipers we were talking about, but this cav coming through, that actually was a devastating cav charge to that front line. Oh, they've got some retinues, but the Imperial Pikes not really being super effective.
Absolutely. We can see some Cataphracts from Argonautes, though, going all the way to the supply. They're trying to interrupt the supply, kill the units there. So they're definitely still fighting strong here. We can see some Forturacho still left for Argonautes, blocking those Medal.
Again, by the way.
Yeah.
Why you fix that little issue there? It looks like it's just from NoBeaches right now.
Yep.
But the cav is still coming in. It's slowly trickling in, but it seems like NoBeaches are actually winning on these cav trades. Apart from that one cav charge that kind of demolished that front line from NoBeaches, but really opting out for this really heavy cavalry from NoBeaches. And the Wolf Boys
there. Yeah. It looks like NoBeaches is gaining the upper end now. They're rotating quicker, it feels like, than Argonautes is. They're gaining ground. They're using the traps. They should be using the traps, I should say. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left for the not trap. NoBeaches.
They've got a really good backline defense. Like, they've not got many units here, but in fairness, NoBeaches haven't secured the ground. So they're fighting over on no trap spot, and then they're fighting on the point with those big air shields. But Cav, I kind of remember. But actually, I'm very surprised Argonauts. I wanted to see this from them, right? That's what we spoke about before.
Yeah, and we can see Argonauts are bringing out some Synthophanery, trying to kill the hero, win on that fight. There's another capture going for the gunners there. Ooh, those armigers, they got through as well. Another trap trying to fly in. This is now becoming a deathmatch slowly. Although...
Well, they got the Kokos coming on from the home point as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
this looks cleared up to me, in fairness.
Yeah, it is.
That is...
Oh, NoBeaches is definitely trying to get a foothold here. It took them a little while. Argonauts are always interrupting it, but it looks like they are finally getting a really strong foothold now. Argonauts will be having a hard time getting back with the units. Traps flying in.
This is a bit of overconfidence from NoBeaches, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't secure the entrances to the way they wanted to fight. They've been trying to take these 1v3 kind of fights,
Yeah.
and Argonautes have actually been really resilient in that fact.
Yeah, it definitely feels like NoBeaches have been brute forcing it on this one. Not as clean as maybe you would have expected, but it definitely is still a very convincing win. True show of brute strength here from NoBeaches, taking the first game against Argonautes, and that is the quickest game of the evening so far. So not a bad one to start with for NoBeaches in this season too.
Yeah, so quality of the stream, by the way, wasn't too great, but we'll talk about some of these heroes. So Ghost X getting the MVP with 7 kills, Sikawagan also with 7 kills as well. But let's go to the post battle analysis, I think, first.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see this big death count on that A push. It did look like they just didn't get kind of any of that counter, even though they tried a nice counter attack, didn't they?
Definitely, yeah.
Battle strength was relatively similar, actually, and even though the Beaches killed a lot of units, actually, I'm quite impressed with how many Argonauts had killed as well. Which is, they killed 617. There's quite a lot of big units in that, and they started to win some of the small trades, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can just see that that very first flank on the A point, that just caused so much damage. It was absolutely insane. And then after that, it was just the uphill fight. And at the end, like the last fight actually took quite a while before it finally concluded. So Argonauts did show up on the defense there. I'm very curious to see what they will do in the attack. We can quickly go over the hero stats. Exactly, just click them one by one. Ghost X also trying to contest Anya perhaps for getting the most hero kills. Sega Wagon just as well with 7 hero kills, both of them. And Ghost X also with 126 unit kills. Very good game on his side. Malabrick taking the MVP on the defender side for Argonauts.
What I'm seeing though is a lot of 0-3 and 2s and 0-3s. And people don't talk about this enough, but that means they're dying a lot as a team, as a 15-man stack, which
exactly.
it's quite rare. There's not people trying to run back for the units. They're actually